Hey y'all, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday, and that means I'm going to talk to Kimberly about 90 Day Fiance happily ever after. Kimberly, do you like the new logo that they've come up with for happily ever after?
Um, I totally noticed it,
Yes.
and I'm not Googling it right now.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, they came out with a new logo. Supposed to look a little more fairy tale-ish, I think. It's
I
got a little
can't
bit of a
find it.
swirly on it. Let's see if I can pull it up and show it to you on my phone here. If I was smart, I would know how to share a document on this recording, but grandma doesn't know how to do that. Let's see. I took a lot of pictures last night while I was. Can you see this? You see? Then I posted on Instagram about it. Can you see? It's kind of,
Oh, yeah, it is yeah, I
yeah,
think they're trying to maybe lean into that because no one on the show is happily ever after. They really need to change the title.
right.
Miserable ever after. In
Now,
danger of winding up on Dateline ever after.
yes. Yeah.
Except for Toby and Emily.
Except for
Ever
Kobe and Emily, because we love them and they can do no wrong.
Uh-huh.
And please, Lord, let that always be the case.
I know. Please don't do anything problematic.
I don't think they will. I
I
don't think
really
they
hope
will.
not.
Um, so I was just pulling up, shoot. Okay, yeah. I was trying to find my next story that I pulled up. Now, last time we spoke, you were on your way to the Grand Canyon, but that didn't happen. Would you like to tell the people in a brief summation of what happened instead?
No, I threw my back out. It's a whole thing. I'm in a lot of
Sorry.
pain. I'm sitting on an ice pack. It
It's
was
too
a
bad.
disaster, but I tried to make it into an adventure disaster
Well, okay, I enjoy your positive attitude.
after talking with my therapist. She really, really helped me turn things around.
I love whoever your therapist is. He or she seems to really know their stuff.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, maybe I need one. Well, not much going on here. My son had his wisdom teeth out. He looks like a chipmunk. And when he got them out, the kids, they love to record themselves after they get their wisdom teeth
Yes,
out because they're on
they're
the
hoping to
drugs.
go viral.
They're hoping to go viral. So I would not let him have his phone. So I did the same with my daughter. And so anyway, he wasn't really that asking that much for his phone, but he was really being funny. And I kind of wish I would have recorded him just to show the family.
Yeah.
Because we walked out and I was pressing the elevator button. And I was kind of trying to hold his hand and stuff. And he's like, I don't need you to touch me. I'm a man. I'm a man's man. I was like, okay. All
It's
right.
toxic masculinity came out for a second.
Yeah, he wanted me to know that he did not need any help. And then I got him in the car and everything. We get in the car and I had on a podcast because normally I listen to a podcast. He puts in his headphones and watches basketball or something. So he goes, "What are we doing? I don't have any music." So I put on Pop 2K or whatever is a Sirius XM, and he didn't like that song. So he switched it over to Hits One. It was some song by Olivia Rodrigo, who I enjoy, but I mean I don't know
Yeah.
really her music. But it was something about a strawberry ice cream or something is a lyric, and it was just playing. He goes, "Do you like strawberry ice cream, Mom?" And I was like, not really." And he goes, "Me either. Yeah, I think the best ice cream." He goes, "This whole thing." I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I think when we get home, I'm going to get you a milkshake, but you can't use a straw. You cannot use a straw." And he's like, "What are you trying to say?" It's like, "You can't use a straw for
I'm
at
a
least 2 weeks."
man. I can use a straw.
And he goes, "I don't understand." And I said, "You can't use a straw. You can't do any sucking motion in your mouth because of," I go, "I'll explain, I'll explain to you later when you're more cohesive." And he goes, "So what about smoking? What about smoking?" And
Yeah, he wants to smoke.
I go, "Well, are you a smoker now? Have I missed something? My 18-year-old son?" And he goes, "So there's nothing like smoking." And I said, "No,
You
you can't
probably should
smoke."
have told the doctor that if you're a smoker, like Angela, she has to go to the dentist and she
Yeah.
kept lying about being a smoker.
I said, are you smoking?" I go, "No." So anyway, I just kind of ignored it. And I was like, "You cannot smoke. You can't do anything that's sucking motion." And a couple minutes later, he goes, I'm joking with you." And I was like, "Yeah, I wonder if you are." Then we start to get home. So we've told, my son stories of us getting our wisdom teeth out. Of course, he was around when Anna got hers out, but I got mine out when I was 30 and it wasn't great. like my mom was like having to take care of me. Like I remember feeling really
Yeah.
bad and just my face being all bruised up because
Yeah.
I just generally get bruised up. And then, of course, my husband's story is he was in high school. He was down for one day, and then the next night he was at a party. He was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my son starts saying, as we approach the house, he goes, I'm fine. Like, this doesn't even hurt. That didn't even hurt. And I go, okay, great. So I'm going to get you a milkshake. He goes, a milkshake? A milkshake? A milkshake sounds great. I was like, all right.
He
So we
sounds
get,
just delightful.
he was delightful. And his everything was like the inflection on it was like, what? That's incredible. So then as we get towards the house, he goes, Mom, I got to tell you something. I'm a beast. I'm a, I'm a beast, just like Dad. This doesn't even hurt. I'm a beast, just like Dad. And I go, okay, John. And he goes, I mean, you're a beast too. And I go, no, I'm not. And I don't want you to say that. I mean, it was hilarious. So he goes, I mean, I didn't mean to call you a beast, Mom. But yeah. So we go in the house. So I tell my husband, so my husband walks down. He was on his way out. And I said, why don't you tell Dad what you said in the car? He goes, Dad, I said, I'm a beast. Like, you're a beast. My husband's like looking at me and I go, I don't know. Just go get your haircut. Just, yeah. Oh my God. So we get on the couch and he's like, there's stuff in my mouth. It was like the bloody gauze and stuff. And he was like,
Uh-huh.
he didn't even know. He's like, it was like Tom Hanks in Big,
Yeah.
with the little corn. He's like, what's in my mouth? I mean, I was like, I thought I was going to be able to like run some errands. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't leave him alone. Like, but I got to tell you, it was entertaining for about an hour. And
Yeah.
then the pain settled in and it wasn't
Right.
quite so fun.
Yeah.
But he does still look like a chipmunk.
That's hilarious.
Like my daughter's cheeks weren't swollen that bad. His are really swollen.
This is where you find out all the dirt. Like, you could have gotten all the tea about, like, what's really going on with him and his friends.
Mm,
What sort of shenanigans
yeah.
they
And then
talk
I was,
about.
yeah. Well, sometimes he'll tell me. I mean, I'm sure they don't tell
You
me
have a
every.
good relationship with him.
Yeah, but I mean, just some things I don't want to know, Kimberly. I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest. I did ask the monkeys in the Facebook group for a good suggestion for him for asking his prom date to prom, and I got some good suggestions. But keep them coming, guys, in that Bunky Facebook group. I don't want to like give the details here on the free feed, but keep them coming in that public uh, Facebook group because the thing now is when they invite somebody to a dance, they have to have like a huge. It's called a promposal. Like you have to have
Yeah.
a huge thing.
It has to be huge and, like, viral. That's
It's
so
I mean,
dumb. It's
he's
so
not
much
trying to be.
pressure.
It's not trying to be viral. He's just got to, because this is, he's had a girlfriend for 2 years. So every dance, I mean, he has done something, but it's been sort of half-assed last minute,
Yeah.
because they were dating. But this is like a different girl. So he's
I
trying to,
remember one guy gave a girl a bunch of fish, like goldfish, and it said, "Of all the fish in the sea, you're the one for me. Do you wanna go to prom?" or something. And it was, like, floating in the fish thing. I don't know, it's weird.
see,
Don't involve live animals in your
mm-mm.
proposal.
Somebody else sent me on the Facebook thing that the guy asked his girlfriend, and he like dressed up in a banana suit and was like, I'm bananas for you or something, or like,
Oh, no,
don't monkey
that's
around. Like, I
dumb.
mean,
No, no.
mm-mm.
Has skywriting been done? Can he get a hire a plane
Yeah,
to
this
write
needs to
into
be $5 or less.
the sky?
That's the budget.
Good.
It needs to be whatever poster board we already have in this home. I'll throw some glitter on it.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. But I'm about to go out of town, so it's not going to be my problem if he doesn't fix it by Tuesday morning.
yeah.
So that's about to not be my problem. So, guys, on that note, I'm heading to LA, and when you hear this sound of my voice, I'll be on a jet plane with Ingrid, headed to LA for Podcast Movement Conference, and then going to just spend a few more days there seeing my friends like Kimberly. We're going to have a Bunky Meetup. Bunky Meetup, March 30th, 7 to 9 at the Mosaic Hotel. Free parking, free parking. There'll be a free drink. There'll be free parking. There will be swag giveaway bags if you bought a ticket. There will be other stuff there you could buy, like our personal fans or our t-shirts, but there will be swag giveaway bags if you attend. So come on, bring a friend. It'll be fun. You can come by yourself. It doesn't matter. Lots of people come by themselves and they meet some other bunkies there. It'll be fun.
Fans like this?
A fan just like that one, Kimberly.
I love
Yes.
that fan.
Yes.
I have 2 of them. I have
I
the
picked up
different
all the
sizes.
swag. Do you want to get a third one while you're there?
Maybe. I am very hot-natured.
um, So that's that. Those are the announcements that I have to make. Thursday's guest will be Deanna Chang. We'll be talking Vanderpump Rules in the Valley. And then this weekend, Meredith and Amy are going to do a bunky takeover while I'm out of town. So there
Fun.
you go. Oh, and I also have some homework for the people. Next Monday is going to be, I'm going to have Landon Bryant on of Landon Talks. And we're going it's the Instagram account Landon Talks, and we're going to be covering the documentary Loving Elvis from Peacock. It's a 3-part documentary about all the women in Elvis's lives and how he was just a smidge of a pedophile.
Yeah.
So we have that to look forward to.
Pedophile light?
No, all
No,
his girlfriends were
just legitimate
14.
pedophile.
Yeah,
Just
14
actual
is
pedophile.
pretty solid there
I
in the
thought it was gonna be
pedophile.
about the women who have never met him, but are obsessed with him.
Well, there's
And then I
that.
immediately thought of Kimberly and her obsession
Mm,
with Michael Jackson.
hmm Well, R.I.P. Both those people are dead, but
Not Kimberly.
and allegedly both pedophiles, not Kimberly, just Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Elvis, he really liked the 14 was the magic age, even when he was,
Mhm.
yep. Okay. So anyway, that's going to be on Monday with Landon. So that'll be fun. Okay.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be fun to talk about a pedophile. Okay, so I have a next door to report. So the music is going to play here in just a minute. So if you have dogs, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your dogs. I'm pulling it up now as we speak.
Hi, neighbor. Hi, neighbor. What do you know and what do you say?
All right. The next story that I have for you today is pretty funny. It's a girl named Layla, and she says, I don't usually make posts about drivers in this area, but one of y'all really pissed me off today.
Oh, don't get Layla upset.
To the person on Duke Street this morning who blocked me from moving into the right lane so I could get out of the way of an emergency vehicle, I hope you get 3 flat tires today.
Not
Not,
4.
she says, not 4. So you could buy a whole new set of tires and get the discount. Just 3. So you got to pay full price.
Oh, she really thought she is petty, and I love it.
Paramedics got to an emergency at least 10 seconds later than they should have because of you. And I hope you feel good about yourself.
Oh my god. What was this person doing?
I don't know. And then of course we get a lot of comments of like, I hope that wasn't one of your family members people are trying to get to,
Oh, okay,
you
good.
know.
Yeah.
Um, and Barney says, now you told it to the world, you should let it go. And Pat says, let her vent, let
Yeah.
her live. And Barney says, I'm not preventing anything. I was encouraging her to move on. I'm not invalidating her comments. Okay. And then, we get a lot of it's only 10 seconds, it's okay to violate a red light if in these rules, da 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 da. And Layla says, I'm pretty sure in driver's ed we were taught it's okay to violate a traffic law in the case you're making way for an emergency vehicle. But I can barely remember. I'm only 6 years out of driver's ed, so I can't imagine what people 20, 30, and 40 years out of school have forgotten. They should require refresher courses to renew your license. Layla is still mad.
Wow.
She
I mean,
is,
I don't disagree. I am old enough that I should have to take a refresher course.
well, I'm an excellent driver on the driveway, to quote Rain Man, so I don't.
My mom's license should be taken away. I hope she's not listening.
Yeah, I mean,
We have considered taking it away.
my mother crashed her car and totaled it into a tree when she accidentally took Ambien when she thought it was a Tylenol, and her license has not been taken away, and it should have been.
Oh my god. That sounds like a Joni story.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep, 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 and, my
You know,
father-in-law's license was taken away for, like, a year, but then they gave it back. He's 87.
someone I know I was talking about, and they called the DMV and reported their parent anonymously because their parent would never forgive them. So
Yeah,
they just did it anonymously.
but what happens? And the DMV comes to your
I
house? I
don't
mean, what
know.
happens?
I don't think they care or they're investigating. They don't have the
Mm-mm.
manpower for that.
No, we'd all be calling on our parents. Sherry writes, "Points to you for the creative cursing." And, Then we just talk about decades ago, a city in Pennsylvania had several tragedies. They started having a motorcycle cop attached to every fire, and this said copy, but she meant cop, attached to every fire and ambulance. Huge tickets, $200, when houses around here were under $100,000. But maybe with today's technology, they could put cameras on the emergency vehicles, send $5,000 tickets. Wow, Priscilla
Oh.
has really, she's really put the pen to paper on the math on
Uh-huh,
this one.
mhm.
And that's it.
We didn't Layla didn't know she was dealing with someone who had done a thesis paper on
That's right.
emergency vehicles. I think that's a great idea.
And I don't know.
5,000 might be high, but what if someone dies? 5,000 is nothing compared to the life that was lost.
That's right.
If
Layla
someone
would agree with
dies,
you.
the family should be able to sue for wrongful death the person who did not get out of the way. There, I said
Hmm.
it. I sound like an old, grumpy white man.
No, I really hate though when the emergency vehicle's coming up behind you and you're trying to get to those right, and those people are like speeding up, and you're like, let me over. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to make that light anyway. You know what I mean? Anyway, okay. I've got another quick one, which is Cydia. And Cydia says, hide your wife, hide your kids. My white Kia Soul was stolen this morning off of Bach Terrace. I went out at 5:30. Only thing on the street was my handle. What the fuck?
I left the handle?
Left the
That's an
handle.
FU.
That's funny.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
I know I'm not alone, but please message me if you see one on the side of the road. It looks a little off with no handle.
Yeah, how are they
Oh,
getting in? They're climb in on another door and then
she literally
shimmy
left
over.
a picture of the handle that was from the street. Um, and this person sends Ring camera video and says, this is a street that's close by. This sucks. We're in Captain's Cove, and around 7:55 this morning, a white Kia was driving incredibly reckless, trying to get out of the neighborhood. Attaching the video. Wish I'd caught more of the dangerous, erratic driving. We called the police. Kids were waiting for the school bus. And then people say, this car fits the description and missing a handle. People zoomed in.
These are detectives, and I love it.
Yes. Um, and in this video, apparently the car's going really fast. This other person writes, this was the slowest they were driving because they had already run up on the curb. And by the time my camera was out, the car had been damaged, like it was dragging something underneath. And we told the police it looked like a driver and two passengers in the back seat. Cydia writes, that's my car. Oh my gosh. So Kia and Hyundais are very targeted right now. We see this constantly in our area with the Kias and the Hyundais. It's something about the ease of which you can steal them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I had
Uh,
my catalytic converter stolen last year because I have a Prius, and they were taking all the Prius catalytic converters.
wow. I mean, gosh. Now
But they didn't steal the car, and then now I have a guard thing on it.
This person writes, sorry this happened to you. It's very odd. I also had my Kia stolen in December. It was
Wow.
retrieved by the police with both front door handles missing.
No!
So that must be the way.
You
That must be
take
the
off
way.
the handle, and then you're able to get in, like when I locked myself out of my bedroom, and my neighbor came over and took the door handle off.
Very smart. Very smart. This one says, my daughter had a Kia. It was stolen 3 times. And the city writes again, hey, Claude, that definitely is my car. There was a scrape on the driver's backside where a black car swiped me last year, and that car has no handle. Okay, this is, I mean, hilarious. So this city writes, my car has been found. Everybody, thank you. People said, how
Oh,
much damage?
good.
And then somebody says, how much damage? Is it still drivable? And she said, nope, the engine was gone and some other things are damaged.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. And then it's all like they don't investigate or get fingerprints or nothing. They don't care. They don't look for them or anything. So,
The
guys,
police in my neighborhood found the catalytic converter thief.
oh, they did.
Yeah.
Is a catalytic converter like a big thing, or is
It
it very
is, and
small?
it's made with a special kind of metal in certain cars that's worth a lot of money. I can't
Okay.
think of what the metal is, so they steal it and then they extract that metal or melt it down or something, unsure.
Huh.
Um,
It's like copper pipes in houses
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah,
like yeah, yeah.
but it was happening so much that they really did investigate, but that's crazy. Poor girl.
I know.
Po
Now she's
and
gotta
that
get a new
girl who had her
car.
car stolen 3 times.
It's just and then I see, another post that was really funny that was similar, and somebody's like, "Please, Kias and Hyundais, stop parking next to me because people are trying to steal your cars and scratching my car in the process." Yeah, I don't know what it is. So they
Could
must be
you
easy. They
take
gotta
I wonder if you could take off the symbol, like, if the but they pro see, I have car blindness, so if it
mhm.
didn't say Kia somewhere on it, I would have no idea it was a Kia. I'm still not sure if it had the symbol if I could see it. I have that badly of car blindness. Hashtag find a cure.
I
So
got
I cannot I would not have any idea. So, but the thieves probably could tell it was a Kia even if you took off the part that says Kia.
I can't even think about what the Kia symbol looks like. I mean, the only things I
It
could
just says
recognize
Kia.
really is like a Mercedes or an
Right.
Audi or something
Yeah,
that's
like
like
the
very
Jaguar
distinctive.
that actually has a Jaguar, thank you.
Uh-huh.
If
Yeah.
they all were that specific, then I could understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. My car just says Yukon on the back.
Oh, look
It
at
should have a bumper sticker that says, "My mommy hates me," which
that.
is how I feel about my car. Um, my husband told me the other day, he goes, "I think I'll give you my car," because he's got a decent car. He goes, "I think maybe I'll give you my car, and then I'm gonna get, like, an electric car,"
Yeah,
or what he not a Tesla, because
yeah,
he should not be named in our
yeah,
house.
yeah, I understand.
Um, but some kind of, like, hybrid or something. I was
Yeah,
like, "Great, do it. Give it to me." He's like,
yeah.
"Well, we need your car for when John goes to college." I'm like, "This is just such a specific one-time trip that I bet we could rent a car for."
Oh, he's just not gonna need a car there.
He wants to use my giant Yukon for when John moves to college. So he thinks that we have to keep my car until John goes to college.
No, you could just rent a U-Haul.
Just rent a Yukon for a day.
Yeah,
Or if he's
a
going to Ole
van.
Miss,
Yeah.
we won't have a car anyway.
Mhm.
We don't know where he's going. He hasn't decided yet. Everybody put out good decision vibes for John.
I will. I'm already
Um,
watching Honey Boo Boo make her decision about where she's going to
where
college.
is Honey Boo Boo going?
Very stressful. Well, it's up in the air right now. Well, I'm sure it's been decided in real life, but Colorado, she wants to be a neonatal nurse, which is hilarious because imagine your baby is like having severe trauma and
Mhm,
Honey Boo Boo walks into the room. Um,
mhm,
that whole family is struggling. That mom is probably the worst narcissistic person I've ever seen on television, like worse than people in Love After Lockup. She
huh,
stole all of Honey Boo Boo's money. So
mhm.
now she can't afford to go to college. And it's like, it's gross. The whole thing is so sad. She's trying to do better and like, it's just horrible. But anyways, I hope she does well. I feel really bad for the family.
Keisha covers that show over on the Libra Lounge with
Oh,
Keisha.
I can talk to her about it then. I'll message her.
Yeah,
I need
she
someone to talk about because my back is inflamed and my heart was inflamed watching it last night. I was
and
very
my anger was
Yeah,
inflamed.
exactly.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh boy. All right, well, let's start talking about these dum-dums. So guys, this week when we see these people, we do have Ed and Liz, who we have vowed Ed and Liz and Angela and Michael for now are on our shit list. So we're just going to like briefly say what happened with them without doing detail.
Yeah.
So this is season 8, episode 2, The Princess and the Pea Brain. That's what it's called. That was the name of the episode, The Princess and the Pea Brain.
Which one is the pea brain? Gino?
Hmm. Yeah,
He has a
yeah.
small head. Um,
So we are going to start really quickly with you just telling us what happened with Ed and Liz because we don't care, but we just want to have a few sentences to whet our appetite.
okay, so we're talking about Big Pred.
Big
Is
bread.
that can I call him Mucinex? Is that offensive? Um,
You could
is
just
that wander into body shaming territory?
yeah. Let's just stick with Big Ed.
Okay, Big
Just Big
Ed
Ed.
and Liz, patron saint of poor decisions. So she now has her custody of her daughter for the summer, which
Hmm.
is new because I don't think we've seen the daughter because she never had custody of the daughter before.
Hmm.
Um, the daughter's adorable. She's living with them for the summer. I don't know how I feel about this daughter being dragged into this incredibly toxic relationship on TV. Um,
Agree.
there is in their talking heads though of Big Ed and Liz. She's so much taller than him. I don't know if it's the way the couch is or just their torso length. It's very reminiscent of Monique and Derek in the car on Love After Lockup.
Interesting. Okay. Yes, I got
Um,
it. I got it.
so basically they live in the South. I can't even remember where.
Arkansas.
Arkansas, and she gave up her partnership in the restaurant and is putting all of her financial decisions in Big Ed. Great decision. They're going into real estate. They own a house. They are totally underwater. She doesn't know. He hasn't told her. They are going to try to be real estate people with no training whatsoever. They are going to get their licenses, sell houses.
Hmm.
So they're broke both financially and morally. And that's what's going on. Yeah. He is very nice with the daughter, and the daughter
Yeah.
seems to really like him. Although in
Uh-huh.
the preview for next week, it looks like he's a little persnickety. So they're just a disaster. I feel like we're watching her soul being drained out of her. Like she just looks terrible compared to when she started on the show. Ed, being with Ed has just,
She's what, 30 something?
yeah,
She's 30 years old.
she looks, yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, and
And I don't think
she's been married like 3 times already?
he already had been married at like age 24 like twice, and it's just she has, again, patron saint of bad decisions, and Big Ed is one of many. And I think he's a horrible person. So they really think they've gone to therapy and the last resort has really changed them, and it's going to be great, and I just don't think it is.
I think in real time, she lives like in San Francisco and has a new boyfriend.
Good for her.
Yeah, and good for her.
Yeah.
Marriage number 5. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's
all
hard
right.
to root for her because you're just like watching someone go back so many times. It's like
Yeah.
Sophie and Rob, but like
And you
he's
wonder if she just wants to be on TV or yeah.
exactly, or is just like in this abusive cycle with him. It's just really the whole thing bad.
I agree with all that. Okay, let's go to Emily and Curry. So,
Yay!
yay, this is going to make us happy. So, we get this time traveling 1 hour, 4 hours, 8 hours, 11 hours with a layover, 14 hours, 17 hours, 21 hours.
I can't.
Okay. They keep showing like the kids like upside down in their seats. And I mean, I'm just
I
like,
mean, they
oh,
weren't crying.
no, they were
They were babbling
behaving.
like kids do, and which might get on your nerves, but like they seemed happy and they were eating little goldfish crackers and like
Yeah.
didn't
And they
seem
had,
to be that terrible.
there are
Love.
4 adults and 2 children, and that's a good ratio.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
wanna be outnumbered.
No, because somebody can have a break.
Mhm.
That's why we won't get a 3rd dog because then we'll be outnumbered
Yeah,
because the 2 people in the house that take care of the dogs, Dave and I.
exactly. I do feel like, Emily and Emily's parents should be in the hero shot, at least while they're living with them. Until they
Yeah.
move out, they get to be in their hero shot.
Would you think they should just like
They should
pop up in
pop
the
in.
background? Like,
Exactly, like,
woo!
"Hey,
Yeah.
are you guys trying to have sex? We're here because 'cause you're in our house. Don't forget, you still live in our house."
I love those parents. So, David and Lisa. So,
Mhm.
finally, they arrive in Cameroon. And Kobe says he was so tired when he got there, but he has so much energy because he's there. He's going to get to see his family. He's going to get to see his friends. He can't wait. And so Valerie, Kobe's best friend, is there. It's very sweet. They haven't seen each other in 2 years. And Valerie tells us about Kobe. Kobe told him when he was in China, he literally says the white girl
Yeah,
in a club, like it was the only white girl in China. Like he found the white girl in
yeah,
China, and then that white girl was pregnant, and then they got married.
yeah.
And they're all very worried about it because they watch American movies and they see how white women act in the movies, very bossy and very arrogant. So they're
I wanna
worried about
list
that.
what movies, because this is hilarious.
What movies? What
Is a
movies?
single white female. We're not all
um,
like that, but
and so what if you are? You know what I think about a lot? Remember when Hillary Clinton was running for president and Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, took me a
uh-huh.
second. Tina Fey were doing the weekend update on Saturday Night Live, and one of them wasn't on it anymore. One of them was, but they came back and they did like here we
Yeah.
are together again.
Yes, yes.
And they were like, "Bitch is the new black." Do you remember
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, "Bitch is the new black," and Tina Fey goes, "I'm a bitch," and Amy Poehler's like, "Me too. Yeah, she is. She's a bitch. I'm a bitch. She's a bitch too. Yeah, bitch is the new black." And I think about that all the time. How funny that was,
Yeah.
and how like, okay, Fine. Let him be a bitch. Who
Yeah.
cares? A
Yeah,
guy could be an asshole and nobody seems to care
for
about that.
sure. Yeah.
That's what the show is based on. Guys being
Uh-huh.
assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a
Women
bitch. She is too.
People
Yeah.
hate on women for having any sort of personality or
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. So anyway, I think about that all the time.
Yeah, but
So,
if you were watching that in another country, you'd be like, "We're
whoa.
encouraging women to be bitches.
Yeah, I am. Stand up for yourself.
Be a
So
bitch, loud and proud."
loud and proud. So, anyway, everyone's worried about it. So they have like one porter per bag. There's like 20 guys in the green shirts come out to carry their 20 bags. And she was like, well, this is just really different. Like in our country, we were like, throw it on the cart, when you get 2 carts. But this is like, there's a lot of hullabaloo, right? And
Yeah,
she doesn't really know what's happening. She's holding the baby. Somebody else has got Coben. And there's these guys surrounding Kobe and they're all kind of yelling at him. And she's like, what's going on? Like, Valerie, what's going on? What's going on? And she and her parents don't know what to do. And of course, there's a camera crew there. And I'm sure they've
yeah,
got some security, but she's trying to figure out what happened. So they all get in the car. And then Kobe explains like what was going on. He says, yeah, in the country, when you land, they know that you're international. They know that you have like, dollars or British pounds or, French francs or whatever they have in France,
euros.
euros, francs. And they want the euros or the pounds because they know that you've landed. So I guess they just surround you until you give them money, which is what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
it happens in a lot of countries, and again, she could have done a little bit of YouTubing or Googling. Like, I watch a lot of travelers on YouTube, and I've seen them
Yeah.
go to Morocco and places where the people will just hustle you. They'll say, "I'll take you to your place,"
Yeah.
and then they demand a tip,
Yeah.
even though they didn't do anything. Or, they say, "Come dance with us. We're dancing," and then they charge you after for the dance.
Oh,
And like, and they hustle you and scream at you until you give them money. Yeah.
yeah. That's
So
what was happening here. Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. So he explains it and he says, it's okay. Like, this is what happens when you land at the airport. And so I just gave them a little money and I was like, this is all I got. Like, go away.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, right? Because what if like Emily and her parents just went over there and didn't know that?
Totally.
It would be scary, but these guys aren't
Mhm.
trying to hurt them. They're just like, hey, we helped you get the porter, so give us some money.
Mhm. That's why you
Um,
gotta research people.
I know. But I mean, I guess they feel like they've got a Cameroonian with them, you
Totally.
know?
Yeah.
So, Emily says, like, it is just overwhelming and we have to adjust to the culture, but that's why we're here. And Kobe tells her, like, well, this is exactly how I felt when I came to America, right?
Mhm.
Everything was different and I was trying to just blend in and trying to
Mhm.
fit in. But today, after they land, they're going to drive. So it's the next day, actually. Sorry. So they're going to drive 2 hours from the hotel, 2 hours to where Kobe's family lives. So they landed in one city, went
So
to a
I need
hotel.
a full day of jet lag, hotel rest, room service.
I know, but he's so excited, like to
With
go.
children, you've traveled for like 26 hours and you have kids and you're just gonna I would need a day. Can
It
we
looks
just
like
have
those
a
kids
day?
fall asleep pretty easily though, so you could just strap them and keep
Yeah,
keep
that's true.
pushing. So, they're in the car and they're driving, and she's like, "Wow, okay." She's looking around. She's like, "It's really flat," and he's like, "Yeah, it's really flat." She's expecting more animals, like the Lion King. He just, and he just thinks she's hilarious. He just laughs at her like, "You
He does.
dumb."
He really finds her so amusing, and I think it's adorable.
Um, so now they stop at a shop. Valerie's there to meet them. They're getting Cameroonian outfits. They want to show respect of the culture, and he explains that families will wear matching colors on their outfits. Valerie meets him there, and he says the shop is really small, so I'm going to stand out here. Kobe tells us there are about 254 tribes, and his parents are from different areas of Cameroon, and every tribe has a different outfit. So they're going to get outfits to like blend the cultures together. Dad gets an outfit. He looks great. He's got a hat with like these spikes coming out. And mom says, are you sure it's respectful? Like if we wear these
Yeah,
outfits? And that would be my question too. Like,
yeah,
is, should I be wearing if I'm not a member of this tribe, is this
totally.
disrespectful?
Exactly.
But Kobe says, yes, they're going to really actually respect you more if you come wearing traditional clothes.
Yeah.
So they all have their outfits on. They come out and Valerie's like, you look amazing. You look great. And Emily says the same thing. She says, I feel weird about wearing these clothes. I don't want to look disingenuous. Like, I don't want to like wear the clothes if I don't know the culture yet.
Yeah.
And she does worry a lot about the family liking her. And if they don't like her, what will that do to their marriage? Well, You're 2 kids in, the 3rd one just popped out, so
Yeah.
I
Hopefully they're
think
fine with it.
I think they're fine. I think everything's fine. All right, y'all, let's talk about bras. You know how I feel about bras. I've been talking about it since the pandemic. I love a sleeping bra. I like to wear a sleeping bra all day. Sometimes you really can't. Sometimes you have to look presentable in public. And I have found the perfect bra. That is the Honey Love crossover bra because it's so comfortable that you can sleep in it, but also you don't look like you're wearing your, pajamas out in public, which I've been known to do. The crossover bra is so comfortable. It's going to be your new go-to. It gives all the support of a traditional bra, but with no underwire. And it's got that mesh detailing that gives you just a little touch of sexy, even though, I'm not one to, talk about such things, but it does. And this is the one bra you'll actually enjoy wearing and you won't be dying to take off. You guys, I've been known to take my bra off like in my car and then shove it in my purse and hope nobody notices. Like, it's not cute. So with Honey Love, you don't have to do any of that. And you won't have that bulge in the back, where it like squirts out of like the back of the bra. You don't have that. Honey Love's bras are designed with this back smoothing fabric to prevent that, which, if you ever see a picture of yourself from behind and you're wearing the wrong bra, you're like, why didn't anybody tell me? So there's also a more relaxed bra that they have. It's called the V bra. It offers that traditional support, but without the underwire. Again, it's designed to lift, separate. It's got the molded cups, and it's not like a shelf-like bra that gives you that uniboob, because God knows that's what I have going on with my other sleep bras. And they also have leggings and shapewear, and I've got some of the shapewear high-waist panties. You guys are so good, but again, so comfortable. So treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/pink shade. You're going to use our exclusive link to get 20% off. That's honeylove.com/pink shade. And after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. That's honeylove.com/pink shade for 20% off. Treat yourself to Honey Love because you deserve it. You guys know what I hate more than anything in the world is when the family says, "What's for dinner?" And usually it's because we've just eaten lunch and now we're talking about dinner. We always order takeout because it's just easier, but it's never really satisfying and it just doesn't hit home as much as a home cooked meal does. I love my meal kits. Being able to feast on a delicious meal without the long prep and cook times is what drew me to HomeChef in the first place. I'm not going to be a great chef any day ever. It's too late for me. But with HomeChef, I feel like I can really make something. I read the instructions. There's very little prep. There's very little cleanup. I like the classic meal kits, but you can also get the ones that are speedy, ready in less than 30 minutes. The oven ready kits, they have quick microwave meals. You can do anything to fix your whole family's needs. They have a variety of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time and if it's going to be okay for what everybody wants. They even have these kids meals now that are best for even the pickiest eater. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. You're going to go to homechef.com/pink shade. That's homechef.com/pink shade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Yes, you heard that right. Homechef.com/pink shade. You have to be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert, but you're going to want it. Do it. Okay, let's move on to Ashley and Manuel.
Oh boy. We got so close to having an ugly cry panic attack in the car on the freeway again. So close, but it didn't happen.
I took videos of it. She's like, "I'm going to cry." I'm like,
I
"Uh-oh."
screamed. I was so excited, like giddy excited, and then it didn't happen. It was such a letdown. So they're leaving that Lilac Festival or whatever. So like all of the couples from last week, we are literally just going right in from last week. There's been no time passed. Gino and Jasmine still in the tent. Like nothing has happened. So she wants to talk about how he alienates her from his kids on the drive home. Which don't do it on the drive. This woman cannot have peace in cars. I
It's the
can't.
caffeine, I'm telling you.
I can read her tarot cards and they say, take away this girl's license because she's a danger on the road. So he says he has plans to prepare the kids to think of Ashley as their second mom in the future, not now. Now they had trouble with him coming to Rochester, which I was like, did they even know he was coming to Rochester?
No, not
That's
until
why they had trouble with it.
Because you told him after you got there, right?
Yeah. So he says, "Oh, he's just being little bitchy and being like, you just have to ask me and I'll tell you things." And then she says, "But when I ask you things, you say I'm asking too many questions." So
Right.
really, there's a core communication problem and they need more therapy. And he says, "Calm down." And she makes the funniest noise like a chicken. It was like, ah!
I
That is,
love this was so funny between the two of them with
oh
their
my God.
and him mocking her and stuff is really
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Hilarious. Which is what any woman thinks in her brain when someone says, "Calm down."
Yeah.
So he's like, "This is my personal life." Which again,
You're
she's
married.
like, "I'm your wife." Mike, oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry. About to cry. I'm going to ugly cry. And she just starts like fanning her eyebrows and her eyelashes and like her eyes like to stop the tears. She's not. She's trying to encourage a panic attack. She's like, let's get those tears going. Come on. Blow in my eyes, Manuel. Blow in my eyes. My brand is having a panic attack on the side of the road. So please blow in my eyes. So thank God they arrive at home safely in the car before, because that neighborhood looks really cute. I don't want her crashing into people's cars and causing chaos as she's
They've
driving.
seen some shit on that street.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's all, if you see it, someone in your house, in your neighborhood has like crystals and like peace and like get,
Yeah.
serenity now signs, they are constantly screaming in their backyard.
Yes. Yes.
So he says it's their personal life, my kids, and I don't want to talk about it. So maybe he doesn't want to talk about it on camera, which is fine. He should still tell her though.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I need space," and she shoves the keys and her purse at him and is gonna walk away and scream in the backyard. And he does the funniest dance move, like he's grinding the air, like I would do it now if I hadn't thrown my back out. And she tries not to laugh, but she's almost laughing because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And that's very frustrating too. If someone's being funny and you're trying to be mad at them,
Yeah.
I get how that would piss me off. So she says, he says, "You bring too much drama." And he tells the poor dog, Rico Suave, "Go deal with your mom as she's crying again." And that poor dog has been through enough. That dog and Jasmine's dog need to form a support system, a support group for tiny dogs and their irrational, hysterical owners.
Yeah. They need hazard
Therapy.
pay. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So they call each other up. "What'd your mom do?" "Oh, she had an ugly panic attack driving on the freeway again. I thought we were all gonna die."
Yeah.
Well,
Those dogs have seen some shit.
my dog mom was sucking my dad's toes in a tent,
Yeah.
and it was nasty. And
Yep.
I'm
It
blind
was.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, "You know what? He's hiding something. My spidey senses are tingling, and I'm gonna pry into his past." So basically, Mama Chantel has gotten to her and she's gonna pull a Karen.
Yeah.
And she thinks he's harvesting the American dollar or has more children. Or the mom just said he might have more children, he could have another wife, and now Ashley thinks that is so. Don't go to this woman's therapy sessions, please.
I definitely think he's hiding something besides those two kids.
I think it's possible, or he's just really private. Here's the thing, even if it's a cultural situation for men in Ecuador to be really private, I do think he's in the wrong, but she's just so over the top and hysterical about it. If I were him with teenagers, I wouldn't want to bring this woman in as their parental figure. Like she's going to
That's a
give
good
them
point.
advice or something. She acts like a hormonal teenager. The teens are probably going through enough. And usually I
Yeah.
wanna be like, if a woman's acting crazy, a man made her crazy, but not with Ashley. I guarantee you she's been like this out of the womb. She came out with crystals
Yeah.
and tarot cards and having a panic attack as a baby, and the
Yeah.
family was rolling their eyes, and the doctor was like, "Oh boy, you have your hands full."
I was waiting for her to walk back in the house and then hear the sex noises because
Yeah,
that's
we
usually
didn't
what happens after they fight.
thank God we didn't have to see that makeup
Yeah.
sex.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, can't wait.
Let's go to Sophie and Rob. So we open where we left off. Sophie has walked out of the selfie studio parlor, whatever that was.
I thought they were back again. I thought she was going back. I
No.
forgot. I didn't realize no time has passed.
No time has
I was
passed.
like, wow, they just live at the Selfie Museum.
So Rob gets in his car, or a car. We don't know if he got a new car for Texas or if this is a rental
He
or
has
what.
indoor plumbing. He is a baller right now.
That's right. He got a new car. So in the talking heads, he says, he really does care about the sanctity of marriage and making it work. And her talking head in the
I'm
car,
sorry, that is not how he said it. I
what did
have
he
to
say?
interrupt you.
What did he say?
He's like, she just leaves. She won't even come home with me. I mean, I believe in the sanctity of marriage. You should stay and work on the problem. Like he's blaming her for not wanting to live there and makes it seem like she doesn't believe in the sanctity of marriage because
Okay.
she doesn't want to be cheated on.
All right. Well, she says, look, in the car, she says, I know he's annoyed, but I don't want to move back in because I feel pressured. I want to do it because I want to. And he is just expecting me to say, it's okay. Like you hurt me. We can move on. But I don't think he's changed. I don't think he's changed at all. And I know he wants to work things out, but I'm not sure at this point if I want to work things out. So then Rob goes home to their very cute apartment that has like a spiral staircase where the bedroom is. And
Oh, the bathroom. He should be showing off that bathroom.
I know he should be showing off that bathroom. 2 sinks.
2 sinks.
And
His
now
and hers. Look at that.
we meet the tarantulas. So they seem to each be in their own little cube with no space to roam.
Yeah, that made me sad, but not at all because I hate tarantulas and I will rescue any creature, an
I
ant. I will
know.
rescue an ant. And yet I did not need to see. First, we had to see Jasmine sucking Gino's toes, and now we had to see the tarantulas.
People let us know. Is that okay if you are going to take a tarantula as a pet, then just leave it in its own little plexiglass cube?
Maybe they're like beta fish that have to be separated. God forbid we all remember the Petco beta fish
Yeah, we remember
incident.
that story from next door. I don't
I
know. I don't
thought
know.
they could live together in like a terrarium, and they should be able to wander.
Yeah, but they were in 6 little individual cubes. And it just
Huh,
seems like they
that's
shouldn't have
not
enough space
right.
to move.
I mean, do we really think he's gonna be a good pet parent? Let's be real.
You know who else has a tarantula for a pet? Do you know?
No.
Billie Eilish.
Oh, okay. Then it's fine with you.
No, it's not. It's not okay with me. That's something about her that I don't enjoy. She has a video where she has the tarantula crawling in and out of her mouth.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
No.
she does.
I can't. I had a science teacher who had tarantulas. I had to sit on the other side of the room. I
Mhm.
was having panic attacks. Like I could not. It was the worst year of my life in middle school.
It's gross, and,
I can't even look at pictures of tarantulas.
God, who was it? So who d James Corden, Carpool Karaoke, he had her in the car, and they went to her house, her original house where she lived with Phineas, and they recorded a couple of the albums there, and she shows him her pet tarantula. And she's
Mm,
like, "Do you wanna play with it?" And it's, like, going up and down her arm, and he's
no.
like, "Nope, nope, I'll be in the
No.
hall."
Mm-mm.
Anyway, let us know if it's okay to have your tarantulas not in a big space. I don't know.
Yeah, because I still don't want them to be unhappy, even though
Yeah,
I hate them and think they're gonna kill me.
yeah,
I also love proving that Rob is bad at something. So
right. He's a vet. Yeah, where was Romeo? We didn't see Romeo.
oh,
Where's he?
yeah. And well, I think wasn't that the dog that Sophie had at the friend's house? Or is
I
that
didn't
not that dog?
I didn't s because Romeo was at the foot of the bed with she
Right,
and
with
her
that giant blanket that
friend.
says "Best friends. I love you to the moon and back."
I can't remember if that was Romeo because Romeo is a big dog.
Yeah, it's like a pit bull.
I thought it was a Doberman.
Oh, maybe a Doberman.
Look, guys, we're getting into the weeds here. Okay, so now we go upstairs, and he stares wistfully at her wedding ring and says, "Somebody should know if they don't have their wedding ring." Um,
She knew she didn't have it. She
she
just
just
didn't know
just
where it
she
was.
didn't really care. So Sophie goes to meet with her mom, Claire. So they meet at a bookstore, and Sophie's like, I think it's weird. My mom wants to meet in a bookstore because I've never seen her read a book,"
Ah! I
which is
died.
hilarious.
I loved that so much.
So they walk in, and mom goes, "Oh, they got loads of books here, romance novels. I don't know what gin fiction means, but
I
that's
don't
what these
either.
books are. Gin fiction, like general fiction, Like, here are
Oh,
the fiction
general.
books.
I thought it meant generation. Generational. Like Gen X.
No, I think it meant like somebody's going to tell me that I'm wrong, but I thought it meant like just general fiction is here,
Yeah, it
biographies
did.
are over here, you
Yeah,
know,
it didn't seem like to be a normal bookstore. It was like a store that had clothes and a lot of things
and
going on.
coffee and yeah.
Yeah.
And then mom says, Claire tells Sophie that John last night said the L word to her, and she's positively giddy, and she jumps. She's really, really nice, and she
See,
tells her mom,
that's why she picked a bookstore, because now she's like, "I'm gonna start to read,
"Oh
and
yeah, I'm a brand
I'm
new
wearing
woman.
a book I'm wearing a dress with flowers on it
Yeah,
because
look at
I'm in
me.
love now."
I'm in love. I'm a lady that reads books on a
They don't even
blanket in the
like,
park."
Sophie at least touches the books. Claire does not even make a gesture to, like, pick up a book.
Mm-mm. No. So she tells her mom about seeing Rob at the selfie place. And she says, it was really great to see him and everything. But after 2 minutes, we were arguing. And Sophie says, he's just trying to make me seem like I'm horrible for moving out. I was like, I don't necessarily think he did that. I think you both started fighting, you know?
Yeah.
And she says, Rob wanted to have a chat with me today about moving back. And so I'm going to talk to him today. And, I don't know if it's pointless, but I just can't keep running away. So I have to talk to him. Mom says, he can't change. He's an asshole. He's going to keep doing this behavior because it's an addiction. And then she says, you know what I put you through with addiction? This is the same. It's like a sex addiction.
I'm glad
And
they're finally talking about it because we've been
no,
saying it all season.
yeah, he can't stop, obviously.
Right, and it doesn't mean he's not also an asshole. Both things
Right,
can be true. I
right.
believe he's an asshole and also has a sex addiction or a porn addiction.
And Sophie says, I don't know. Maybe he just likes attention from people. Like, I don't know.
That's part of the addiction, I think.
Yeah, I think it's all about the, gratification of it.
Yeah.
And in the talking head, Claire says, Sophie's just 24 and she thinks she could change Rob, but only he could change himself. And talking head, Sophie says, my mom was never clean and sober when I was growing up. My mom has OD'd before and I've had to save her life.
That's horrible.
And then she says, so I know about addiction and I don't know if Rob has a porn addiction or maybe he's just like a dick who likes to watch a lot of porn. Like you
Both.
said, he could just be an asshole who likes to watch a lot of porn.
Yeah.
But she says, but in order for us to have a loving marriage, he will have to change. So,
But he's not capable. He's shown multiple times he's not capable.
but it's just so confusing because she's got this blonde hair and they're in Texas, but then we saw him on the tell-all and she had brown hair and said they were in
Okay,
Texas.
yeah.
So we don't
So
know.
to me, it looks like a wig. I'm not gonna talk.
It is a wig.
It
It's a
looks
wig.
it looks like a wig.
It's a wig. Yeah.
And so I can't tell if this all happened before the tell-all and they're trying to muddy the timeline so that we don't know that they get back together, because at the tell-all they're fully together.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
they're trying to confuse us and it's working.
Because we're confused and we're talking about how we're confused. That's right.
Uh-huh.
There's some other problematic hair that we can address that's a confusing timeline, which is Nicole and Mahmoud.
Oh my
And
god.
Nicole
So
ever shrinking and growing hair.
it's so smooth, like a helmet, like perfectly aligned in her real life. But
Yep.
then in the talking head, the bangs are so choppy, and then the sides and the back have been like poofed up like a mushroom head
Yeah.
almost.
Uh-huh.
Like it's so weird. And I don't understand if that's in because I don't get fashion, but I just don't think it's flattering. But whatever, she's into fashion.
I feel like she got mad and chopped her hair off in a fit of anger.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I think happened. Yeah.
But no, I think it's the same, and she's using like gel to style it all choppy. But I
We
don't
need
get the poofiness in the back. It does.
we need Katie. We need
Yeah,
Katie to tell us.
yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
So she runs to him at the airport and says, "Kiss me, you mother effer."
She is blatantly and purposely trying to use the term fucker, motherfucker all the time to upset him, I think.
I think she's like, "I'm in LA and this is how it's going to be now. I cuss and I do what I want.
I cuss and I show my belly.
And you're gonna kiss me on the mouth," and he won't kiss her on the mouth.
Mm-mm.
He will only let her kind of kiss on his cheek, and he's, like, mumbling, like, "I love you, honey." Mhm. But with his usual overwhelmingly under enthusiastic energy.
Seems like he hates her. Yeah.
It seems like he hates her or needs a lot of coffee. I've never seen him have a lot of emotions, but it's really, I mean, he's been traveling for a very long time. So as they're walking out of the airport, he of course notices her stomach and says, "Cover your stomach." And she's laughing and like, "Don't ruin a nice moment, honey. I love you so much. I love you too, honey, but why can't you cover your stomach?" Right away, it's that passive aggressive tension. "I love you, honey. I love you, my baby, but please don't wear that. You're trying to
Mm,
embarrass me."
mm.
They just make me so sad. It's just so sad.
It's just
And
not. It's just no, and on no planet do these
no
people
should be
line
together.
up or
No.
should be together at all.
What was weird was I had like a flash, which is I don't try to picture these couples having sex. I try the opposite to try
Uh-huh.
not to picture them having sex. But for these two, I for some reason like flashed to it and I was like, what would that even be like? Like he's just won't even kiss her and shows no love. They have no chemistry and it's just so they're both so uptight and nervous the whole
Yeah.
time. It
Yeah.
just feels very I don't know. Try not to think about it. Sorry if I put that image in everyone's head. I have a back problem and it's making my mind go to some weird places.
You
That's
guys,
my
she
only.
took a muscle relaxer.
And it makes you picture people on TLC having sex. That's what it says as a side effect on the bottle. And it's not worth it. Don't take it because you don't want to picture these people having sex.
Oh
Bad
God.
enough Gino and Jasmine are like showing us having sex.
I was gonna say, unless they just blatantly show us, which we're gonna
Exactly.
get to next. Yeah.
So she shows him where the crosswalk is. This segment felt like 10 minutes long. Honey, this is the crosswalk. So you cross there at the crosswalk. Cut to her. So in Egypt, there are no crosswalks, and
Mhm.
you cross the street anywhere, and there are animals and cars going crazy. And where I grew up, you really couldn't drive. My parents wouldn't let me cross the street. I don't know why I'm explaining to you. It went on for 20 minutes. That's how boring this couple is. We have to talk about the crosswalk
Yeah.
for 10 minutes. And then she tells him, "You're not shutting the trunk right, honey. You got to really shut it right. These cars are different than the cars in Egypt." How are they?
It's
How-
just
They
gonna be
the trunk
one.
works differently? Okay.
Just like she had to learn to light the stove, he's gonna have to
Yeah.
learn to shut the trunk. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she says, "You have to put on your seatbelt because it's the law here. You can get in trouble." And he's like, "Okay." So there's this new power dynamic of her knowing how to do everything and he knows how to do nothing. And she's really loving it.
Yeah.
And he's not, and then they just got out of the airport.
Uh,
So this is great. And then she almost crashes the car, like which happens on LA freeways all the time. And he goes, "Honey, are you sure you know how to drive well, honey?"
I wonder if women in Egypt are allowed to drive.
That's a great question.
Mhm.
I'm not sure the answer. Um, she didn't drive. So he already misses the loud noises and people of Cairo. So to him, LA is quiet, which was shocking to me.
I
Um,
thought that was weird too. I was
yeah,
like, I guess he has to go to New York City or something to get the
exactly.
yeah.
So she drives up like a nice street and she's all proud. She lives in a very cute area and it seems like clean and safe. And she says, "What do you think?" And there's like greenery. And he goes, "It's okay." He's like so tired and zombified like Citra's sister. Like he's been bitten and he's about to turn. But
Yeah.
I think he's so tired. He's like the boiling pot. Like he's about his eyes are about to zombify over and he'll
Yeah.
bite her. So you just have to like let him go. But she wants a reaction, like something. Say
Like, "Oh,
something
this is
nice.
great. This is really
Yeah.
gonna be nice. Wow,
It's
what a nice apartment you have." Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not in him anyways.
No.
He's never enthusiastic
No.
anyways.
No.
So they get to her apartment and right away he's like, "The pillows, why are there so many pillows on the bed? You have to take them off every time." And I'm with you, Mahmoud. I hate the pillow thing too. I don't know why people do it,
I
but
loved it though.
whatever.
I thought it was hilarious. He was like, "It'll take half the day to get the pillows on and off the bed." Like,
Yeah,
out yeah. Yeah.
I get it. Why? What's the point? Um, Decoration, I guess.
Yes.
So she also has this this painting that is of a naked lady with like a giant bush hanging out like down to her knees and he is horrified. He says, "I'm happy I don't like art." And he's like not into it and then she goes, "That's my painting. I did that painting in art school."
Yeah.
and he doesn't like it, I guess. That's okay that he doesn't like my art or my apartment.
It's just like a nude, like, pencil sketch, like, my sister was in art school too, so, like, we've got tons of them.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is that she has several mannequins because she's into fashion, and these ladies are sinful ladies who are not wearing any clothes, and their boobies are hanging out, and their smooth undercarriages are hanging out,
No
and
big bushes there. No.
no bushes. And
Nuh-uh.
it makes him so uncomfortable. Like, why don't they have clothes on? Couldn't you put clothes on them? And she's like, they're plastic mannequins.
Yeah.
And he's so uncomfortable. She says, I didn't even think about it. They just like, they're always like that. I don't know if she didn't think about it or she is trying to push his buttons or trying to shock him into LA culture or whatever.
That would only be the second set of boobies he's ever seen, and they were
Yeah, that's
plastic.
true.
Yeah.
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 I probably would think about it. Like, would I cover them? Probably not, but I would think about it. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's like,
she's a fashion designer or a stylist or whatever. She says that's where I sell my clothes, so I don't know if she has, like, a Poshmark store. She's
yeah.
got sewing machines, so she uses it for fittings and stuff, but, yeah, I mean, she could have put one of her designs on there. Yeah.
Yeah, she shouldn't have to. They are just
No.
mannequins, but, like, I kinda don't believe that she didn't think about it, because she thought about showing her stomach, and she debated, and then she did it anyway. So
She definitely, in the months that they haven't been together, have thought, "Wonder what he'll think about this painting of the lady with the big bush."
exactly. I
Yeah.
think she thought about all this. So she says this mannequin has lived here longer than he has, so she's staying.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what Ashley said about Rico Suave, the dog, and I approve. So
Right.
then she gives him this present with this built up, like she wrapped it, and she's so excited, and it's like thrift store pajama shorts.
They're like boxer
They're
shorts.
like boxer shorts,
Yeah.
but like one pair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, and I and again, they're from a thrift store, which to me is like buying underwear at a thrift store. Like I don't understand,
Yeah.
but whatever. He's just not excited. He just like he keeps going weird. That's weird.
Yeah. He thinks it's weird not to sleep in your clothes. He doesn't
Yeah,
understand about sleeping clothes versus street clothes, and that's just like a cultural thing, but it's just like but also, he's been traveling for, like, 3 days, so he
maybe
definitely
give it
needs
to
to
him tomorrow.
shower and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
give it to
He's
him
on
tomorrow. He's
awake.
literally almost falls over at one point
Yeah.
because he's so tired. And then she says, Do you want me to put a pizza in?" So she heats up. This is the saddest first night ever. She puts in a frozen pizza.
Mhm.
And she says, I know you're tired, but I wish you were more excited. And it really irritates me that you didn't sleep on the plane. I told you to sleep on the plane. And he's like, well, okay, next time I'll listen to you, honey. I love you, honey.
"You okay,
Um,
my love? I'm sorry, my
yeah.
love."
Maybe he couldn't sleep on the plane. I can't sleep on a plane. Um, and so she,
Maybe there was TVs, like, in the back of the headrest, and he just couldn't control himself. He had to watch things and
oh, yeah.
play games, and maybe he just couldn't it was too exciting.
Yeah. So, he goes to shower and closes the bedroom door, which is when I had the flash of like, wow, what is it like when they have sex? Like, I know there's a camera crew there, but it does feel like he wants privacy to shower from her as well. So
He's like, "Now I gotta put on these giant boxer
I know
shorts?"
that someone else wore. What's
Yeah.
happening? So it's so incredibly awkward. There's not a stitch of chemistry here.
Nope. Not a stitch. Well, let's talk about chemistry. Let's talk about 2 people who are trying to make it happen, and that's Jasmine and Gino.
They're oozing chemistry and other things between his
God.
toes.
So, they're talking, they're like, "We're living the Michigan camping life on our honeymoon." And so they're like joking about, he's like, "I'll make you see stars in the tent and lightning." She's like, "Oh." So they get in the tent. So now obviously they're in a tent and there's a cameraman in the tent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget about that. It's like a porn. You just picture the person's not there.
Okay. So she is kissing and licking all over his dirty feet. And she said, I discovered I had a foot fetish when he used to walk around wearing his Jesus sandals. I was like, whoa,
Oh my
I was
god,
turned on by his feet. And he's
mandals.
like, remember how much she hated those like chacos or whatever he was wearing, his
Yeah,
divas?
the mandals. I hated them
The
too.
main, and as she's kissing and licking his toes, his dirty feet, putting them in her mouth.
Stop. Oh my God, I'm so disgusted. This should have been rated NC-17.
It was disgusting. Now, this is a person who, like, she doesn't like anything dirty and talks about how dirty his house is, and she's licking dirty feet. Okay. So she's like, "Oh, my baby. Oh, my little baby." And she's talking to him baby talk. And then she says that his feet taste like cheese.
Okay,
Okay.
a couple things.
Uh-huh.
She's
I'm
vegan.
not done. There's so much more, but go ahead.
She's vegan.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I've been trying to go vegan forever, and cheese is the one thing that holds me back. This
Mhm.
scene might have done it for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
I might finally be done with feta.
Um, then she says, "You know, baby, do you like other things? Like, do you want like a finger up the ass?" What is happening?
You're hilarious, Jasmine.
He goes, "Oh my God, yeah, baby, you're wild." Okay. So thank the Lord that scene is over.
They're gonna peg.
I mean, that would be the least of my concerns of what's happening in that tent. I mean, first of all, you know that she's like, the camera has left. Get me the fuck out of here. I'm not sleeping on the ground.
Yeah.
There's no way she slept in a tent. No way. No way.
Also, again, we see in the morning how close they are to the other campsite
Yeah.
with children on bikes riding around.
Yeah.
I hope those poor children's innocence wasn't taken that night. But
Yeah. She says it was a good night. She hopes they made a baby. It wasn't the best honeymoon, but it was the horniest. So the next morning, she's kissing Coco, which I'm like, don't you kiss Coco with that mouth.
I said, don't kiss Coco with those cheesy foot lips.
And she tells him, "Oh, Gino, well, I had a great night. Did you have a great night?" And he says, "It was unforgettable and wonderful." And she says, "I'm so glad that you've given me your sperm, which I called a fish. So I got your fish, and that's good because I'm ovulating." Then
She
she's
also won't kiss him until she knows he's brushed his teeth. Did you see
right,
that? But
right,
she'll lick his cheesy feet.
right. She's an enigma.
She
So
she is.
So, oops, she tells him, she did face these fertility issues in the past. She hasn't told him yet. So now she shows him her calendar and says, for 6 days, you have to make love 12 times. Some days she gets one fish, some days she gets two fishes. There are other days where she'll get four fish. Now, I would like to tell you all this is not how it works for ovulation. She is trying to force him into something he doesn't want to do. Ovulation lasts about 2 days, and like the day before up till the day after, you need to have sex once a day. That is what any doctor will tell you. She is
Wow.
trying to force him to have sex 12 times in 6 days.
Yeah. That makes me uncomfortable.
It decreases the amount of sperm if you have sex that much. It's supposed to
Oh,
be
so where's she getting this information?
she made it up. She made
She
it up.
really is that horny for Gino?
Yes. Yes.
Ugh.
And he was like, "Well, you're just kind of making it like it's like too forced and it like takes all the fun out of it." Yeah, well, that's true too.
That
And
I'm
she
sure happens, yeah.
yeah, it does. Did you see the movie She's Having a Baby?
No, but I've seen a lot of TV shows where they're trying and it becomes like an appointment and it's very unsexy. And then usually when they relax, they have a baby.
She's Having a Baby by John Hughes stands as one of the best movies of all time.
I do love John Hughes.
And it's Kevin Bacon and Elizabeth McGovern. And Alex Baldwin comes in as like a sexy friend, and it's all good.
Mm.
Okay, great soundtrack. So she tells him, Gino, I'm not the most fertile person in the world. It was hard for me to conceive JC. And I had to do hormone. I had to do a shot every day to sustain the pregnancy. And he says, "Okay, don't panic. You're young. It's going to be fine. Like, don't worry about it." She's like, "Well, I'm just telling you." And again, to I say, "Jasmine, go to a doctor. Don't discuss this at the Michigan campsite."
Yeah.
And he'll also tell you don't have sex 12 times in 6 days.
Yeah.
So next scene is Jasmine is running awkwardly in a park with her hair down and a headband on. Didn't seem like.
At least she didn't have a purse.
That's true.
Remember that when she had her handbag?
Yes. Jogging with a
Also,
handbag. That's right.
Sports bras are doing all the heavy lifting here. God
And
bless
it
those
was like,
sports bra straps.
this one was like velour.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not a breathable material.
Mm-mm.
So she stretches and then she calls her mother. She calls her mom, who's Cecilia, and her sister, Zuellen, who she's like, oh, you bitch, you're wearing my shirt. Okay, girl, don't wear my shirt, girl. Pink looks good on you, girl. Um, Jasmine said she's always been very close with her mom, and her sister are taking care of her kids while she's in the United States. And she's asking about the kids, and the
Wait.
kids.
So the dads aren't involved anymore?
I don't know if it means like during the week they're with me and they go see their dads on the weekends. I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought the dads were more racing them full time.
Um, they say the kids are doing fine. Wance is a little sad and he doesn't want to tell her when he talks to her, but he's sad and he misses her, but he's doing fine. And Zuellen says, listen, I got to tell you with this regards to the visa processes, you're making a mistake by leaving it up to Gino.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
you need to make sure you're on top of it too. And Jasmine goes, I just hope the whole process goes fast so we can be together soon. And then she asked her mom, how are you doing? And she goes, I'm in a lot of pain. And so that, makes me kind of depressed, but I'm about to get some tests done. And then she signs off because she's going to the doctor. And so now Jasmine's just talking to Zuellen and she says, what's going on with mom? And she says, mom's getting a biopsy today to see if, to confirm something's not cancer, basically. So then she says, how much are these tests costing? And Zuellen says, $800. And she goes, well, I'll send you the money. I'm going to talk to Gino. I'll send the money. So then Jasmine cries and says she misses her mother so much. And what if something goes wrong and she's not there? She'll never forgive herself. And Zuellen says, first of all, girl, relax. Life has many twists and turns. You can't predict it. So, like, don't get in your head about it. And then she says, okay, girl, pink looks good on you. Bye. So
Maybe she should ask Dan for the money.
Dan's got the money. It's only
She,
$800.
she can't return one of those butt cheeks.
No,
So
no. Um, Jasmine cries and says she feels like a crappy mother and then she feels like a crappy daughter and she's really struggling.
Mhm.
Now they're going to go see the lawyer. This lawyer was amazing
Oh
and
my
his name
God,
is
get him his
Anthony.
own show.
So good.
He should.
So good.
He and Angela's attorney.
Oh,
Were-
that poor long-suffering guy. So she wants to find out when she can go to Panama to see the kids and her mom and, when the kids will be able to come over on the visa. So they sit down, but before they get there in the car, they're arguing about the lawyer. And she goes, I'm going to tell you something. If he says we need to hire an attorney to make it go faster, we're getting one. And he says, no, I've already put in so much time and money on it. I know what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
And don't forget, he did bring his first wife over on a K-1 visa.
Yeah, but she didn't have kids. It was a whole different thing. Gino
Right.
is an idiot.
He thinks he's an expert, though. And he quit his job, to
Quit
full-time
his
do this.
job. He has mediocre white man syndrome where he thinks he can handle it.
You're right. So, dead on. So, the talking head, he goes, look, here's the thing. I don't have the money to pay for a lawyer for paperwork. We spent too much on the wedding. This is an informational only meeting. No money will exchange hands. So they meet the attorney, Anthony, and Jasmine explains that she wants to travel to Panama. When will she be able to do it? And he goes, you can, while you wait on your green card, you can, but you have to you have to apply for something called advance parole. And the processing time for that is like 8 to 12 months. But, a professional, of course, is going to help this process go faster and address any issues. She goes, And her talking head, she goes, I'm having a panic attack because I thought maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
And now I'm stuck in the United States. I need to go see my mother and my children. And I want the lawyer to help us.
You can see it in her face that
She's
it's
not fake.
bubbling at the surface, and she's trying not to pull one of her insane table flipping moments.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she's freaking out.
Yeah. And he says, so now, why aren't the kids here? Explain this to me. And he goes, and Gino says, okay, so we went through a lot of rough patches in our relationship. We weren't even sure we were going to end up getting married or she was going to stay. So we wanted to be sure everything was okay. But now we feel like it's good and it's a safe environment, to bring the kids to. So the lawyer goes, okay, well, it's no problem because the kids are like on the K-1 visa. And he goes, no. And he goes, and Gino goes, I'm not an expert, of course. He's saying this to an immigration lawyer.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not an expert, of course, but we could just put the kids on the adjustment of status petition. And Anthony smiles and goes, Google didn't tell you what to do?
I died. Ray is full on mock because the second Gino walks in, he's like, "Well, I've done this before," and he's like, "Oh, I've got an expert here. Great!"
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
he's mocking him to
I
his
loved
face, and
it.
it made me so happy. Hire this man.
When he says, Google didn't tell you what to do, and Gina goes, no, no, no. And Anthony goes, all right, let me explain it to you. Okay. So adjustment of status means you have to have a status to adjust. And since they aren't here, they don't have a status.
Oh my god!
They aren't here, so they can't adjust a status that they don't have. So you can adjust her status from K1 to green card. So what you should have done is put them on the K1 even if they weren't coming right away. But because they aren't listed, they don't have a status, so they can't get adjusted. So it will be impossible to bring them over.
But you know that because you've done this before, right?
Oh God, when I tell you Jasmine is looking at Gino like, what?
I don't know how she keeps realizing he's an idiot over and over. Like
And
he's
Anthony,
proven to you he's an idiot so many times.
Anthony says, we see this all the time. We see this all the time. I hope Gino is going to listen to Jasmine and retain our services so there's not another screw up.
Mm-hmm.
So Gino goes, well, I just think that I will have to do the paperwork. And he goes, so for you to retain our services, it'll be about $5,000. That includes the filing fees, and we will represent you for 12 to 14 months, but it probably will take a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And Jasmine starts bawling, crying. And she says, if he would have put them on the petition, they would be here in 6 months. This is a nightmare. And if I would have known it would have taken this long, I would have never come here without the kids. And I 100% believe that she is truly upset and not faking this being upset.
I think her whole plan has always been go marry this man and bring the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think since one of them has special needs, she thinks there's like better resources here. And
Yeah.
I do think she loves the kids. I do think she's also just makes a lot of terrible decisions and
Mhm.
spends a lot of money when that money could go towards more important things like getting the kids here. And then she yells at him because he doesn't have the money.
Right.
Also, why did you quit your job, Gino? You
So
married
stupid.
a money pit of a woman
Mhm.
without the charming Tom Hanks around. And like she will always need more money for something. She loves money.
Yeah.
And she doesn't save for a rainy day or for her mom's tests or to bring the children here,
Mhm.
anything. And she just wants what she wants right now.
Yeah.
And you knew this.
Yeah. All of it's, you're speaking
They're
the truth.
they're both bad. But hire this man. Give this man a show. Ray should come on as like pillow talk and just criticize what all the couples are doing. I love him.
I think his name was Anthony Ray.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah, that's okay. You're just calling him by his last name. It's
Yeah,
fine.
like we're in the fire station or something.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Come on over here, Brown.
Yeah.
Seymour, whatever. Okay. I don't know what last name I was coming up with. All right. So next time on 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, Kobe and Emily and the family are visiting Kobe's family. And Kobe's dad says now that they're there, it's time to do the traditional wedding. Because in his, Kobe explains, in his mind, we're not really married because we haven't done the traditional wedding. So that's fine. Do it. Who cares?
Yeah,
Fine.
I'm surprised he didn't tell her about this ahead of time, but
Yeah. Maybe you'll
still,
get some presents.
she
Yeah.
shouldn't have. Yeah, she shouldn't have a problem with it. 2
Um, I,
weddings.
I'm sure she doesn't.
Yeah,
So, and her parents are there. So it's great.
yeah.
So Sophie goes home and Rob shows her something he's written in a notebook. And it says, don't be mad at me when you don't get what you want and don't focus on the past. He goes, these are just some lessons that I wrote down to help us. And she's like, what? What the fuck are
What
you
a
talking about?
condescending piece of crap. He wants her to sign like a contract
I
that
don't know if these are just like rules of our
rules
house.
of the house.
Yeah.
And she's not allowed to get mad at things that have already happened, which everything has already happened.
Yeah.
You're not often mad about things that are in the future. And what was the other thing? Don't get mad when you don't get what you want, which is
Mhm.
calling her spoiled because she wanted a fucking duvet.
Right.
Still mad she didn't get. Did she get a duvet? Well, she got that blanket from her friend.
Right.
Love you to the moon and back. So
Yeah.
I can't with him.
Um, Ashley says Manuel has a blockage in his throat, meaning he can't share things with her. So he needs to open up his throat chakra. And they go to this healer, and he says, she wants to bewitch me so I learn English? No, it's not what she's doing.
I mean, it would
She's
be nice because you've been here for a
a year.
year.
Yeah. Big Ed and Liz fight over baking in front of her daughter. Nicole says to Mahmoud, "You haven't smiled once today or ever." And
Since I've known you.
then she says, he stopped dead in his tracks to stare at this woman who was wearing a hijab. And she says, it makes me feel like I'm not Muslim enough for him. Well, you're not.
You're not, and
You're not.
it's been established.
It's established. And she tells him, if you want an Arab woman, you can go fucking back to Egypt. And he walks away and says, I will. I'm done. Okay. So nothing has changed here.
I need to see the scene and how he's looking at this woman. He might have just been really excited to see someone in LA dressed like that.
Yeah. It looks
Or
like
was
they're like the Santa Monica Pier or something. They're
Yeah,
walking
or
and
was he gawking at her, like, in a sexual way, which doesn't even seem like he's capable of.
it,
So,
the shot that they showed looks like he just like glanced over like, oh, look,
yeah.
there's a lady in a hijab. Yeah. Look at her. She's not showing her stomach. Trying to kiss me at the airport. So
They need to cut the cord.
they've got
This
to get
is
away from each other.
this has never been a viable relationship, and
Mm-mm.
someone needs to come in and just separate them.
I agree. Um, Jasmine cries to Gino. It looks like they're getting some pie or something. And she says, you promised you would do everything to bring my kids over. And he says, I am telling you, I don't have $5,000. And then she cries and says, I want to go back to Panama. And he gets and walks up out of the cafe. But
I just
I feel her a lot of stuff she does is fake, but I feel like all of these are real tears. It's not
I
her just wailing.
I
They're real
agree,
tears. Yeah.
but, like, it's not his fault totally. He made a stupid decision by quitting his job, but
Yeah.
also you demand so much money and probably did spend way too much on the wedding. You spent all of the wedding dress money on your butt. You
Hmm.
have had like multiple procedures, put no money away for the kids. Like, so this is not all, he shouldn't have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I agree with all that. But I mean, when she is able to work, what is her job going to be? Because we know she's trying to be an influencer because once
she's
she got
not
here,
trying to get a 9 to 5, be a teacher again, which I think she's probably a good teacher.
yeah,
So, and whether she got fired because of Gino's ex or if there was more to the story there, we're not sure. Um,
yeah,
so, but I think she's a money grabbing, like, I think she's horrible with money. I think they're both horrible with money. And
yeah,
he's really cheap and she just spends and she wants what she wants. Like in the last episode, she wanted a new house.
right.
And so whatever she gets in her mind like a child, she needs to have, and she will have a hissy fit until she gets it. And that doesn't leave money for things in the future. Like,
Yeah. So she needs to read Rob's notebook. Don't be upset when you don't get something that you don't want right away.
yeah, give these kids a Susie Orman book or something and let them learn.
Oh my gosh. Everybody, I'll remind you again about the meetup in LA. Please click the link, get your ticket. And also, you said that this week on A Date with Dateline, you guys are not covering A Girl Named Egypt. You're not covering that?
We have the week off.
You have the week off. Well, that's nice for you. Um, yeah, it was a good episode. And the guy on that episode named Curtis looks so much like Josh and Natalie. I couldn't get over it. Couldn't get
I
over
still
it.
haven't finished the tell all.
Oh, okay.
So Josh comes on the tell all, right?
We haven't seen him yet. We've only had
Oh,
one
okay.
episode of the tell-all so far.
But Mike, I know, is there.
I'm sure Mike comes too. I don't know. We've only had episode 1 so far.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why
episode 2 comes out this week.
these poor men that
I
get
sent
into
it to you. I sent you the
Natalie's
screener, so maybe that's why you're thinking.
maybe. No, because my parents called me in a panic, like they couldn't watch episode 2. And I'm like
Oh,
now realizing it never even aired yet. And they're like, why didn't it record? How do we like they want me to walk them through the DVR on the phone?
comes out Monday, right?
Yeah, it hasn't
Yeah,
even come
Monday.
out
Okay.
yet. Why are they freaking out?
So when this episode comes out, we'll have already come out. But when we're
Yeah.
recording it, we have not watched it yet. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, tell your parents everything's fine.
yeah.
We haven't seen it, but woo, episode 1 was something with Tim and his purity. Tim and his needing a lady that's got purity.
I
What was
didn't
that
hear
about?
that part. Oh my
Oh, he
god.
said it twice.
I thought he
Every
looked really cute.
I do like the darker hair and the beard, and his hair is like filled in and not
Yeah,
like shaved up the side.
I like it.
Yeah, but him talking about he
I
needs a
don't love
lady with
that at
purity
all.
is.
That might make my crush on him go away if I watch that.
How'd you feel about Tyree letting us know that his penis works just fine?
I mean, I'm proud of him. I'm
Good.
happy for him. I don't think he really knows though till he's in this situation.
And how did you feel about Miss Debbie shaming Chantel for her clothing choices?
That seems on brand
Mm,
because Miss Debbie was I love Miss Debbie. She was horrible at the last reunion on her last season. She was so critical and had the weirdest takes, the
yes.
very old-fashioned takes, and I understand she's older, but, like, so disappointed in her on the last tell-all, so I'm not surprised.
I
But
think it's going to get worse. I think there's going to be 5 parts of this tell-all.
oh, that's way too many. That's
Yep.
3 too many.
Uh-huh. There's going to be 5 parts, and I think that with each episode, Miss Debbie is going to have more and more opinions that are hot takes.
I don't
Hot takes.
understand because, like, on her season, she seems like this free spirit, hippie, open-minded woman power, and then she
Yeah.
gets in these tell-alls, and she's like a Puritan.
Yeah. Yeah. She also told me when I talked to her that she always tries to root for the underdog. So she
That's
thinks people are ganging up on somebody, then she's like gonna take the opposite take to like
that's
help them out. But
that's why she wasn't she supporting Chris, the,
yeah.
maybe drug addict, who I also supported because I
Mhm.
was hoodwinked, and I had bad takes too, but she really had bad takes. Yeah.
Well, Miss Debbie said about Chris, she said she felt like people were ganging up on her and that she'd had a really bad childhood. And,
Mhm.
I was like, okay, well. Um, anyway, guys, make sure you follow Kimberly and Katie. They have a podcast called A Date with Dateline. It's really good. And they're on Instagram at Date Dateline. And I am on Instagram at Pink Shade Pod and still just chugging towards that 10,000. Just every day getting 1 or 2 more people and just doing my best. It's all I talk about. It's all
It's
I
a
talk about.
marathon, not a sprint.
Oh, it's one of those double marathons where people have that sticker on their car that says like 84.3 and you're like, "Oh, what are you
What?
crazy?" Yeah. People have things in their car where it looks like they did a double marathon.
No, thank you. That's
Why?
horrible.
Why? I don't even wanna walk to the trash cans. I mean, my
No, my
god.
knees, my back, I'm
Your
old.
back for sure.
No.
Oh god.
I like
Uh
those television ones that like on These Are Their Stories, one of my favorite podcasts. They have I watch 26.2 hours of Law& and Order. Like, that's all I have.
Uh, okay, well, everybody, I'll be back on Thursday with Deanna Chang to talk about Vanderpump Rules and the Valley. And again, over on Hey Bunky this weekend, it'll be a Bunky Takeover with Amy and Meredith. And you guys, if you're trying to get some royal coverage, don't forget about Meredith. She's at Meredith Constant, and
Mm.
she's got all the royal coverage you need. And who else could I plug? Keisha is covering on the Libra Lounge to Keisha. She is covering Mama June. So if you need to talk about that,
I am
there you
going to make sure I'm listening to her because I need someone to scream with.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a lot of hot takes on that. All right, Kimberly, I'll see you in LA. I'll see you in LA. Bye.
Thank you.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.